Hello everybody, and you're probably wondering why you see me getting ready to drive here. Well, actually I'm getting ready to take a 30-minute break, which I thought would be perfect time to do a quick stream. Just a quick one. Just a little quick one. Just a little quickie. You know, just a little quick stream. I'm gonna stop talking. But anyways, I thought it'd be a good idea to do a little stream. You know, and I'm getting ready to do a break here, so you know, might as well just get it out of the way, you know. And I thought, you know, what would be perfect if I had started my freaking truck driving series like I said I was going to, with doing my break at the same freaking time as doing my break, and talking about, you know, the good of the truck driving business and of course the bad of the truck driving business. Now, there's a lot of YouTube channels out there that talk about this truck driving business, and a lot of it talk about, you know, how bad it all is. And they talk about how you're pretty much not taken care of by anybody. You got to take care of yourself. So basically, I'm here to talk about all the good stuff. And along with the good stuff, there's a lot of bad stuff that you should probably know before you get out on the road. Now, one of the only reasons why I took truck driving as my potential career, in case YouTube doesn't decide to take off as quickly as I was hoping for, was that it was a very easy job. Basically, all I have to do is just fill out all the paperwork, drive, deliver whatever load on time, and, you know, be a good, you know, little driver that I am. They don't really, no company will say straight up how bad their company is. Now, I could probably just tell you that, you know, I'm working for Crete, Schaefer, whatever you want to call them. But Crete is the major parent company that owns Schaefer and Hunt. And Crete owns every single one of their equipment. And they're proud to say that. I mean, they don't have any debt whatsoever. And their stocks are pretty much through the roof. Or at least that's what I'm told. Now, I've never really met another company that can make such a claim like Crete can. So, I thought about it for a while, and I decided, okay, I'll take on your offer. And so far, their offer has led me to getting, you know, my stuff taken from me, basically, and I pretty much have to start all over. But you know, I've already been told that, you know, Crete will compensate, you know, compensate for everything that I'm missing. So, you know, it's a little something. But this video will explain in some detail in what you should do when you start out your career as a truck driver. So we're going to go ahead and start these assumptions. If you're watching this video, you are officially assuming that you are interested in taking on probably one of the easiest jobs, but also one of the hardest jobs in the United States today. Now, there's a reason why it is the easiest job, and there's also a reason why it is the hardest job. The easiest job, or the easiest part of the job, is pretty much all the freaking saying all the slang and saying that you get from everybody. All you do is sit and drive. That's all you fucking do. That's wrong. That's only 50% of your job. The other 50% is handling your load, handling the equipment that was given to you, your paperwork, and your personal hygiene. There's a lot more stuff in between, but that's just some of the other 50% that you have to manage. There's no bathroom inside of here. You gotta fucking stop at one of these fucking truck stops and take your piss. Luckily, that's still a free commodity. You also have to think about food. Whether or not it's okay to get that Subway sandwich or not. Or maybe you want to stretch your wallet. Maybe you want to treat yourself to a steak. Or do you get a salad and call it a day? Well, me personally, I can't help myself. I always treat myself at least once a week for a steak. And that's not very healthy. But you know what? Go fuck yourself. Literally. I mean, what I eat is nobody's business but my own. And I know it's not very healthy. But, you know, I don't really care. At the end of the day, we're all going to fucking die. So you might as well just fucking enjoy yourself as best as you can. So, you know. So, we're going to assume that you are ready to take on the hardest and easiest job in the United States. But why? Why do you want to get this job? Is it because that you believe it's a good way to make money? Because I can tell you for sure that it is. You're probably expecting a different answer. Truck driving is one of the best ways to make a lot of money if you know how to save. I can tell you right now that truck driving has gotten me an Xbox One, that $1,400 laptop that I'm now streaming on. Not now, but that I've been streaming on. And it's gotten me a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff that I've really wanted to get. Such as 2 lightsabers. That is just, you know, extra commodity. Sitting at home right now. I've been able to buy myself everything that is in my bedroom. And truck driving could also cost you a lot of money. That is if you don't take this job as serious as it's supposed to be. Truck driving is a very serious job. And if you don't treat this job with respect, you're going to die. Period. That goes for four-wheelers too. If your area does not respect you as a truck driver, does not respect your truck, then they are probably looking to die today. And that is one of the dangers that I have to deal with every single day. There's at least one person every single day that decides it's a good idea to cut me off. And you know, I've always just done the horn thing, give them the bird, and yell a few slang words out the window, but that's really all that I ever do. I've only one time almost been physical, and that is because this idiot deserved it, and I caught it all on my dash cam, or well, when I still had a dash cam. But that's a long time ago. It happened like a year or so ago. But the point is that you're about to foretake a job that is going to make you mentally and physically insane. Here's a couple things that you should probably think about whenever you're doing God knows what. One, you got to manage your time. And this right here is my Qualcomm, which I use to manage my time. So I had to give myself an extra 15 minutes because I forgot to put myself off duty when I parked 15 minutes ago. Or almost 10 minutes ago, I should say. But the point is that you need to give yourself a lot of time, especially when you're in traffic. You need to give yourself time in front of the idiot that is getting ready to freaking cut you off because grandma up here is getting too slow and the guy beside you has to get off at that exit over there. And you're going, oh, say 35 miles an hour, and then the guy decides it's okay to freaking cut you off. All of a sudden you're going from 35 miles an hour to 10 miles an hour and probably brake checking whoever is tailgating right behind you, all because that guy decided that it was time to get the hell over, to get off the interstate or whatever. You'll be seeing a lot of that in major cities such as Houston, Texas, Los Angeles, California, Atlanta, Georgia, and especially New York City. I could list a lot of other cities. Chicago, I've been to. Miami, I've kind of been to. That's why I prefer nighttime driving. And that's why a lot of other truck drivers say if you're going to do truck driving, you better start learning how to drive at night. And at first, I did not like it. I did not want to drive at night. But I had to if I was going to make the appointment. And I had to almost every single time when I was working for my other company. I had to almost every single time because I absolutely hated Dallas, Texas. I hated Dallas traffic. I hated Houston traffic because everybody and their grandmother is trying to commit suicide in front of a freaking truck driver. CDL schools are probably one of the easiest things that I'm probably going to explain in this video. The reason why I say that is because you gotta know what you're looking for one. CDL, when you're looking for a CDL school, I would recommend one of them big companies, personally. because they will offer you a job, or they will put you in a job as soon as you get out of that CDL school. Yeah, they'll deduct your freaking pay for the next 6 or so months, but you could deal with $300 a week, if not less or more, because of a deductible. I had to deal with it when I was working for frickin' Celadon or Osborne or whatever, but hey, I dealt with it. It was a pain in the ass, but I had to deal with it. Or I had to pay $2,000 or so to the freaking company, and you know, I did not have time or the money to freaking shell out $2,000 to the freaking company. So whenever you're going to a CDL school, make sure you pay attention, for one. Because no matter what, if you're there, if you really want that job, then you will pay attention. Because either way, you're either going to work for that company, or you're going to be shelling out $2,000 to drive their equipment, or $2,000 to pay for the school. So So when it comes to CDL schools, I would recommend a big company, like I said. Don't go to a local place and hope that you're going to get a job with them, because I could promise you, you're going to be shelling out probably $2,000 or $3,000, which you probably don't have. I would ask that school if they would put you in a job. Or if you already know that they'll put you in a job, then yeah, go ahead, take it. The other thing you got to look out for when you're going to a CDL school is, where are you going to stay? If it's a local place, are you staying at home? Are you going to drive yourself to the place each and every day? That means you're going to have to worry about fuel costs. How much money is that going to cost you? You also got to worry about food. Is the place going to serve you food, or are you going to have to go down the street to McDonald's? Big companies will put you up in a motel, probably regardless, unless the school happens to be right down the road of where you live. That way you can just, you know, walk there or drive there or whatever. But big companies will usually put you into a hotel. And here's how you could tell if the company is bullshitting you. How's the status of that hotel or motel? What kind of a hotel or motel is it? Is it a Holiday Inn Express? I can tell you right now, when Crete says that they have a lot of money, they prove it by putting you in a really good hotel. Or are they putting you into a Motel 6? It's not really that bad, but you know, it's kind of one of the worst things that could ever happen. You wouldn't want to stay in a Motel 6 because it's just bad in general. How clean is that hotel? Is it a 4-star, 3-star? Do they serve breakfast? Do they have their own diner so that way you don't have to like walk anywhere to go get McDonald's or whatever? Or if you do want to get McDonald's, how close is all the restaurants? Is there a Walmart nearby? That leads to the next thing. What are you going to bring with you to this hotel to get to your CDL school? What are you going to bring with you? I'll name a couple things off. You're going to bring a pillow, a blanket, possibly a sheet. You're going to bring at least 1 week's worth of clothes, and you're going to wash them probably bi-weekly, depending on how many pairs of socks you have or how many pairs of underwear you have. Let's see, what else are you going to bring with you? If you already got one, bring your GPS unit with you. I would highly recommend it. Bring some work gloves. Brand new work gloves. Bring a mallet hammer or rubber mallet. It's for checking tires. Bring a flashlight. Oh, excuse me. Bring some pens. Bring like a package of pens. Bring 2 packages of pens. Oh, some gum. You're going to need it for the mountains. And of course, not to mention your own phone charger. Now, if you're like me and you're a gamer, bring your $1,400 laptop, or don't. Leave that at home. Let's see. Depending the season, you know, bring a jacket or a coat if you're going up north for the winter or whatever. You know, be reasonable. Let's see. That's really all you need to really bring as like a starter kit. Windshield wiper, phone charger, clothes, bedding. Usually the company will give you like some extra stuff like pens, paper, your logs or your paperwork to write down your loads and stuff or whatever. And depending on the company that you work for, you might get these trip report forms where you have to write down your trip number, fill out the bubble sheet, and then scan them in through the TransFlow system at the truck stop. And that could be explained in another video, the truck stop stuff. But I think I'm more or less going to focus this episode on getting started for trucking. Now, when you get your CDL, you get your permit, your CDL permit. You're still at the CDL school, and now they're telling you drive. Now, if you're like me, you could always tell the driver, all right, well, this is the first time I've ever driven a stick shift. Don't ever ask your CDL driver or your CDL trainer if they have automatic trucks. Don't ever test your CDL license in an automatic truck. That's like the #1 rule of truck driving. Learn how to drive these stick shifts. Learn. Shit, it's not that hard. I freaking learned. I learned how to use a stick shift, and I've never driven a stick shift up until I went to CDL school, and I was more than willing to learn what it even does. And there's been some times where, you know, I fucked up, but, you know, given a couple of chances, I eventually learned how the clutch works, and I know how to float. So, you know, it's not that flippin' hard. So, whenever I do a drive test, the guy who tests me is always like, "Wow, you drive really good. You always float like that?" Yeah. Well, anyways, when you're starting out driving, don't learn new tricks until you get your trainer. And your trainer will most likely teach you pretty much everything else. What the school is supposed to teach you is how to change gears, how to downshift, and basically how to drive a frickin' semi. Now, for me, everybody had to do this before they took off. They had to do this every frickin' time. And then I'm sitting here like, oh God, I better do this too, because this might be the last time I'm living. Because I got pretty nervous. I got really nervous behind the wheel. And then I eventually, you know, got used to it, I guess. But basically, it's not really that bad when you get it, once you get used to it. So, relax when you're out on the wheel, or when you're the one behind the wheel, because the teacher will most likely tell you, okay, let up on the gas and start braking. And then by the time you think you're getting the hang of it, she'll just let you drive, or he, or whoever. But they'll just let you drive, and then they'll just say, turn this way, turn that way. Doesn't really matter at the end of that day. But my 30 minutes are up. Oh, don't tell me. Well, my 30 minutes are up, but I'm definitely not going to frickin' make it at this frickin' at my what's it called? My time's going to run out by the time I reach my delivery, is what I'm trying to say. So that's going to frickin' be a little bullcrap, but oh well. I'll attempt to I mean, I don't want to lie, but I'll see if I can't get there as soon as possible. So anyways, you're out there driving on the road, just relax. Relax until you think you've gotten the hang of it. And don't worry, you will get a hang of it. I mean, if you don't think you're going to get a hang of it, then I guess truck driving isn't for you. Because you're going to get stressed out. And if you can't take a lot of stress, don't do this job. Because this requires a lot of times when you're most likely going to freaking stress out a lot. Now then, as I was saying, what was I saying? Oh, right, relaxing. That's really all you have to do is just relax. Even when you're in a stressful environment such as, oh, now I got an hour and 55 minutes to go. Well, either way. Really hope I could just, get there as soon as possible. That guy's a dumbass. But anyways, now you got your CDL. You're all relaxed, and now you're going to get with a trainer. That's pretty much where the real fun begins. Now, if you're like me and you have to try again, there's that for you. So I would recommend to just go slow, steady, and treat it like you're very serious. Like this is the last job you ever want, even if it's your first job. So don't treat it as, oh, this is just another job. No, it's not just another job. This is a career decision. And although it's getting me some of the big bucks, I've always rather wanted to just do YouTube and then maybe truck driving on the side, but now it's starting to be like I'm doing this and YouTube is on the side. So that's more or less what my options are most likely going to look like at the end of the day. So moving on then, when you're with your trainer, that's really more or less where all the real fun begins. You're either going to teach you how to back up and everything in the school, but you're not going to really experience until you're with your first trainer. Now, like me, I got 2 asshole trainers, and that was with that was when I decided to go to another company to try to get a little more training in, and I got paid to do so. They put me with the trainer, and then they put me with a different trainer, and both of them were assholes, and one of them was, I'm pretty sure, was racist towards me. But at the end of the day, it was more or less a hit or miss. The third trainer I got was when I went back to Celadon and got on board with Osborne. And the third trainer that I got was probably the coolest guy ever. The one thing that I really liked about this trainer was that he let me drive instead of freaking nagging on what I should do. He allowed me to experience truck driving in general, and you know, if I ever become a trainer, that's what I'm going to do to my students. I'm going to allow them to experience being a truck driver. Now, I'm a very messy guy, and you probably noticed it earlier in the stream when I had showed my gearbox. I had also accidentally showed my floor, but I'm a very messy guy, and I tend to try not to be. But one of the things all trainers should teach is responsibility and cleaning up after yourself. You make a mess, clean it up. I mean, I used to bring my own trash bags until my truck was taken from me, but until I get another set of trash bags, I'll be taking a box, mainly, you know, organized and not have to have a messy frickin' truck. So with your trainer, you're going to have some good times, and then you're going to have some bad times. You're going to want to wish that this trainer would just freaking leave you alone after a while, and he will, or she will. Your trainer will end up shutting up and should let you drive most of the way. Your trainer is there for moral support, and sometimes, if companies will allow it, they'll allow you and your trainer to practice doing teams, just to see if you would like doing teams. Now, me personally, I don't think I would like teams, because I have very bad trust issues as it is. So I don't think I would trust somebody to be behind this wheel and just doing whatever, because I just don't have that kind of patience. So team driving just isn't for me. So it's not like that I have a thing against it. It's just I don't like it. It's not for me. So I don't really care for team driving, and I honestly wouldn't recommend it unless you absolutely trusted the guy who's driving after you. So that's my take on that. Another thing your trainer is most likely going to teach you is how to fucking float. He's going to tell you to stop putting your foot down on the clutch unless you're at a stop sign or stoplight. The only reason why, or the only reason you should ever touch the clutch, or actually there's a couple of reasons, but the only reasons you should ever touch your clutch is if you're stopped at a stoplight or stop sign, or if you're in a gear that you can't get out by just simply braking or getting yourself out of a throttle. And I remember for the longest time, one time, and this happened to me at least 5 different times. I would get stuck going from the 5th gear splitter up to 6th gear, and then somehow the freaking gear wouldn't go in. I would rev it up a little, I would hold the clutch down, I would let the clutch up, do the throttle again, just do all I can to try to get the freaking gear in, and I couldn't get it in. It was to the point where the freaking trainer was just like, shove it in! So I'm just sitting here like, I'm fucking trying. After the 5th time, he was just like, okay, stop. Do it again. And if you If you can't get into 6th gear, we're going to keep stopping and we're going to keep trying. So that's another thing you guys are going to have to do. There's a lot of trial and error that you're going to have to do when you're truck driving. One of the big things that you're going to be doing is backing up a lot, especially at a truck stop, especially at the customer, especially when you're picking up something, or like I said, at the customer when you're delivering that something. You're going to be backing up pretty much 50% of the time that you're driving. Or no, I'm sorry, not 50%. At least a good 25% of the time that you're driving, you will be backing up. Now, one of the things they teach you in orientation here at Crete is don't back up if you have to. Now that's something good to like for like expert drivers that has a couple of years experience. If you see an opening that you can get to without backing up, such as like a parking spot, and you can get to it without backing up, get to it. Get to it as fast as you can. And it's either going to attempt the same thing that you're about to do, or get to it and attempt to reverse. He might see that you're also attempting to get to that spot and might leave you alone and get to the spot next to you. But TAs, Petros, and some pilots' parking system will allow a big enough parking space just so you know, you can make those maneuvers to get in there without having to back up. The other 15% of the time that you're backing up is basically let's see. It's basically backing up at docks and docks at the customer or at the shipper or so on and so forth. Uh-oh, there's an accident up here. As I'm going through the weight station, I should probably like I should probably give a couple of pointers about weight stations, but now that I'm thinking about it, maybe I should wait for another video, or wait to say this on like maybe the next video. I'll do something about weight stations, because there's really a lot of stuff to talk about. This is probably going to be the longest of the videos because there's just so much to talk about when you're getting started. So, and your trainer is not going to tell you, oh, just pull up in there. Or if he does, then he's a bad trainer. Or he's probably just giving you a break. But your trainer should teach you how to back up properly. how to back up into a parking spot, and he's most likely not going to choose an open space. He's most likely going to choose a spot that is in between two trucks, and he's going to tell you, get that trailer into that spot, or get that truck, get this vehicle into that spot. And that'll be a good test, because you know you're right beside two trucks, and clearly if you hit one of them, then you're fucking done. So that's a really good test. But of course, if you don't got any other option, he's probably going to tell you to park next to this guy, but you need to be on the right side, which is your blind side, and he'll most likely help you. Now, I got lucky because my trainer had given me a Bluetooth headset, not this, but a similar headset to what he had, and he helped me through calling me. Now, I don't know if that's really a good idea or not. I mean, I suppose it'd be helpful, but personally, I don't know. But backing up is probably one of the hardest things to do in a semi, because you're not driving. You're not trying to get your truck aligned with your trailer. No, that's actually 5% of that. The other 95% of that is you're literally driving your trailer. And to drive your trailer is to physically know in advance where you're going to go with that trailer. %70 of the time, you will you got these people that will open up their doors and without their freaking seatbelt or their arm there, they'll have their arm right here with the door open, looking out, instead of, you know, doing a safer way, rolling down this window and peeking your head out. And you know, I've always just said, what are you doing? You're not driving your fucking trailer. You're causing yourself to be a bigger danger to your environment, because what's going to happen when you fall out? Your truck is still in gear and it's still backing up, and then all of a sudden it backs up over your fucking head. Because I can tell you what, you're going to be dead, and you're probably going to freaking kill another fucking person with you. So don't be the dumbass that opens up your door without your fucking seatbelt or something to hang on to. Because I can promise you, you're not hanging on to the fucking steering wheel. You're not hanging on to the fucking door. Because one little mishap and you're falling out, and then the next thing you know, you're underneath your freaking steer tire, hoping that it doesn't fucking roll you over in the next 3 seconds. Truck driving is a very dangerous job, and it's not for everybody. I could probably tell you right now, about 5 years ago, if you had asked me 5 years ago if truck driving was for me, I would tell you no. Truck driving is too dangerous. If you had told me 10 years ago that I would become a truck driver, I would tell you, you're out of your fucking mind. There is so much stuff you gotta handle on a truck. There's fuel management. You gotta know when to stop for fuel, or where you're stopping for fuel. Have you been given directions to a fuel stop? Or can you just fuel wherever and whenever? One of the perks that I had at my previous company was that I can fuel whenever and wherever. And that's one of the cons to this company, is that I can't do that. But, you know, they give me a good distance to drive for fuel. They're usually very good on that, and they always say, hey, if you ever are in a situation where you can't make it, just go to the nearest truck stop and call. But they're usually good. This company's usually good on telling you, you know, how much fuel you need to get, and then you know, get going. They're usually very good on that, and that's what I really like about this company. One of the big things you're going to look for in the truck driving business is how much money are you making right now? Is making a sudden career change worth it? Is it worth it? Is it really worth it? Because I could probably tell you 80% of that question is going to be no. Is there a better job out there? Yeah, there is. But is it cheaper to become a truck driver than to go to college, get some dumb liberal arts degree, or whatever kind of degree that you're interested in getting, such as, oh, some stupid fucking science degree, become a scientist or engineer or whatever? I could tell you right now that you can make just as much money truck driving as you can with any other job. This is a job where it is possible to make $1,000 a week. If you're with the right company and you do everything the way you're supposed to be, 10, 20 years from now, you could potentially make $1,000 a week. Now, it's probably not going to be with a big company. You're probably going to start your own business or start your own journey as an owner-operator. Now, that's also for another video, because this video is already way too long. But when you think about it, a lot of that money that you potentially making, $1,000 a week, I could tell you right now, 500 of that is going towards maintenance. $300 of that is going towards fuel. What are you left with? $200. Guess what that's for? Food. That is no different from making $500 a week. That includes taxes. That is no different than working for a company as a company driver. Because I could promise you, when you start out as an owner-operator, you're basically starting over as when you were first starting out as a truck driver. You were only making $100 or $200 a week. And that, or no, not $100, at least $200 to $300 a week. And I could promise you, all of that was going towards food, groceries, home expenses, bills. I am proud to say that I make at least $500 to $600 a week now. Throughout my 3 years of driving, I've been very lucky because not a lot of drivers are making as much money that I am. And I can't promise you that within 3 years of driving that you can make as much money that I can. I got very lucky. I got very lucky on getting a job at whatever company I got with, either be Osborne, Jacobson, or here with Crete and Schaefer. But I'm very, very proud to say that I make a lot of money a week. And that is money that has gone towards getting that $1,400 laptop. That is money that I've recklessly spent without even noting or without even knowing. That is money that has paid phone bills. That is money that has gotten me this fucking phone. I'm very happy to say that T-Mobile got me out of my freaking Verizon contract. And basically told me that this phone was pretty much for free. All I had to pay was a $200 activation fee or whatever, or was it $100? Either way, free phone, $100 activation fee, and $100 a fucking month. T-Mobile, $100 a month. Unlimited data, $100 a month. I never have to deal with a $300 bullcrap contract where I'm basically shelling out $300 to $600 every single month because I went over my 6 gigabyte data plan. I got sick and tired of that, so I had to switch companies. I had to, or I wasn't going to have money. I wasn't going to have any money left. I got out of that as soon as I switched jobs because I was finally making the money to finally get out of that fucking plan. So, believe me when I say that I got very lucky in this industry. I got very lucky. Because not a lot of people can say what I can say, what I can claim. And a lot of that was just by trial and error. I've done everything that I've done so far mainly because all I've been doing was trial and error. I didn't ask for any help. I didn't ask for any assistance. That's all this industry is. It's all on trial and error. You either can do it or you simply can't, because you have limitations or you're disabled. I can tell you right now, if you're disabled, this job probably isn't for you. And I'm not saying that to be discriminating against disabled people. Depending on what part of your body is disabled, such as, for example, I don't know, a leg, then I would say that this job probably isn't for you. Now, companies do hire disabled people all the time. They hire veterans all the time. So, you know, don't take me as discrimination against disabled people, because my grandpa is disabled. Spike is disabled. He has a heart condition. So, you know, and not a lot of people that are disabled can get jobs. And truck driving is probably one of the only jobs that, you know, people can get. And if you can do it, then do it. If you can't do it, don't do it, because you're probably just going to end up getting yourself killed in the process. If you could do it, if you could drive an automatic vehicle easy, then I'm sure it's possible for you to drive a semi. Everything you've heard in this video is stated by opinion. So don't take everything as a fact. There are no facts in these kind of videos. Don't take everything that I say as fact about truck driving industry. If there is one thing that I have said in this video as a fact, is that truck driving is hell. And it is probably one of the very first things that I'd said in this video. Truck driving can be good, but it can also be bad. Truck driving can and will be a good job, but it also can and will be a bad job. So, ask yourself this: can you physically and mentally drive a semi and handle all the stress that goes with it? Because whether or not you're in a team, there's one thing you're going to have to deal with. And it's the one thing that I've been dealing with for over 3 years now. And that is the fact that I have been alone. I have been alone every single minute of it. It's gotten me time to think. In the process, I've been able to find myself some new music to listen to. And I've been able to treat myself to, you know, a lot of things. I haven't been able to, like, stop and relax for just a little bit while, you know, I stretch my legs, go to the bathroom real quick, or, you know, just simply get myself a bite to eat and enjoy it without having somebody nagging at you. Hey, you got to get going. If I were to bring somebody along with me in this truck, it would be my potential girlfriend that would ride along with me, basically. And pretty much just keep me company. Because, you know, like I said, this job is not an easy job. You will be alone. And you're going to miss your family. You're going to miss events that you wish you were there for. I got lucky. I was able to be there for when Samson died, almost a year ago today. Or, yeah, almost a year ago, come September, I should say. So, you know, I'm not going to be there for everything. But probably one of the best things about big companies, especially this one, is that they will try to get you home as soon as possible when you tell them that you have to get home. And, you know, this company has been good so far as to, you know, get me home every so often. Every 6 days or so that I get home. And you know what? I've been fine for getting home for at least one day out of a week. Every so often. So, you know, it's been very nice with this company so far, and I think I'm going to enjoy it. Either with doing new fleets, because right now as a reefer driver, I'm making some really good money. I'm making a good time, good money, and hopefully I can see that bank account go out of the overdraft zone very, very soon. So, you know, like I said, you know, don't take my word as fact. You know, a lot of what I say is opinion. And, you know, whenever I give these tips and tricks videos, think of it as part of my own experience. Because I'm going to tell you a lot of stories. And there's going to be times where I'm not going to be able to upload every Tuesday or Thursday, because I'm planning on streaming every Tuesday and Thursday a tips and tricks stream. Tips and tricks stream every Tuesday and Wednesday at around 3 or so. I'm going to try to get one in. So, you know, whatever. And then, you know, my occasional random streams. I'm probably going to stream tomorrow. So, keep on the lookout for that. Not sure what I'm going to stream yet. Might beg Spike to play some Civilization with me. So, there's that. Other than that, I hope you guys enjoy this. This is going to be a brand new series that I'm going to do. And then, you know, whenever I get bored with it or I get done talking about tips and tricks, then we'll probably move on to something else. I know I've been trying to keep a good streaming schedule constant. So if I happen to run out of ideas, I'll probably think of something that involves trucking, or I might take some questions and I might make a video out of most popular questions or whatever. So don't think that after like I get done talking about everything there is to know about trucking that I'm just going to stop streaming this series altogether. I'm going to stream every Tuesday and Thursday, and I'm probably going to stream for as long as I can to talk about everything there is about the topic that I'm trying to talk about. And I'm going to be talking about a lot of things. Just like I said about 30 or so minutes ago, I went over a weight station, and sitting there like, well, now that I've gone over a weight station, that's something to talk about. I'm going to talk about truck stops, and I'm probably going to talk about each and every single truck stop in all separate videos, maybe. Just really depends on my mood. Because there's really not much to talk about when it comes to different truck stops. At that point. So you know what? Depending on my mood, next Tuesday I might talk about something really random, or it might be truck stops, or it might be weight stations, or whatever. So here's what I'm going to do. Write down in the comments below what you guys are most interested in wanting to hear me talk about that is related about truck driving. And if you guys have any questions, personal questions that you think I should just answer via or well, no, I'll try to answer as many questions as possible in the next video, or the next stream I should say, but probably not going to get to all of it. So like I said, I'll try to talk about everything there is to know about the topic of whatever I'm talking about, and we'll just leave it at that. So other than that, thank you so much for watching. If you like this stuff, make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Make sure you hit the little bell so you get, you know, my videos, my streams first, or whatever. You get notified that I'm going to stream, or that I'm streaming right now on Tuesdays and Thursdays at around 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this as much as I did. I do apologize if I tend to not answer your comments, as I'm more or less trying to stay on topic of the video, the topic of the video. So don't think of it as that I'm ignoring you. It's just I'm trying to get this video done and over with, or not really done and over with, but like I'm trying to talk about whatever I'm trying to talk about, and you know, you can't get distracted. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, I will see you in the next video. So Bye-bye.